What's up, guys? It's Dragonfly Todd here, coming at you with another overview of another MMO. First things first, if you're new here, I post every Monday and Friday, and I cover a variety of different MMOs, a variety of different games, just like this one. So if you like this video, consider leaving a subscription, maybe even a comment. I'm always looking to improve my content. With that being said, let's go ahead and get right into this overview. Amazon's New World MMO, built initially as a survival game. Let's get into some of the key aspects of this game. I actually picked this game up, got it off of, first I got it off of Amazon. I tried to pre-order off of Amazon to get the beta key early or to get the preview key early. Basically, if you guys want to go get this game and try it right now, it is actually able to be played until the 4th of September. So I will tell you how to do that. You go to Steam. This is the only way to do it. You go to Steam and you pre-order, and then you'll get the preview in your library. You'll be able to actually play it and kind of see exactly what I have going on. I have not played this game a whole lot. If you're like me, you're casual and you have a job, so you can't just sit around playing games all the time. And by the way, sorry if I'm a little sunburnt. Was on the boat yesterday, but yeah, I got a little red. Anyways, so let's first talk about the PvP. So PvP can be big or it can be small, with open world PvP and other things like 50v50 battles, as is shown here. Another thing is the graphics. The graphics on this game for an MMO, they definitely don't look outdated. While some of the animations and different things may be clunky, there may be a little bit of texturing issues or issues within the graphics themselves. That obviously is going to be mended out throughout the development. It's not set to develop or to be finished developing until spring 2021. So another thing that comes to mind whenever you think of an MMO is the gameplay. Is it fun? What do you do in it? What is some of the MMO aspect? A lot of aspects in this game is going to be survival, as that's what it was created for intentionally in the beginning. So when it comes to the gameplay, you do have questing, you have crafting, and you have obviously the combat between the different mobs and other people. Something that's a lot different with this MMO is, while it does rely heavily on the crafting and the player progression, it's not too in-depth yet. And that's something that you're going to see with a lot of MMOs, especially when they're coming right off the wire there, whenever they're getting developed initially. Another thing is, right now, there is no voice for the quests, so it's kind of like classic WoW. You're gonna have to read through everything, and there's different books around. You're gonna have to pick those up to really understand what's going on in the game. So the story is kind of hard to follow, but basically you're on a magical island in the colonial ages. There's this corruption that's building up in this island, and it's all due to this magic. You're trying to save the world from this corruption. Another thing is the character progression. That's something that you look at a lot in an MMO. The character customization is okay. Obviously, it doesn't have a lot of different assets and things that they're going to need whenever the game actually releases. So just be looking out for that. I'm going to be covering this game for a little bit. I actually didn't hate the game when I played it. Whenever I was in, the combat was a bit clunky. There is a meta right now with the hatchet spam. You can literally just left click, hatchet at pretty much anything. So there's that. There's going to be the balancing issues. Obviously, the initial stages of the game are going to be just mending out these issues. And once again, this is a preview. Initially, this game was to come out this year, but I feel like Amazon has realized, between the countless suggestions by the community and the testers, that this game is going to have to take a little bit more time to release. And that's why they're continuing the testing phase rather than releasing it to open market Steam. So the preview is really just to get as many players on the server as they could in order to kind of test the game and see how everything worked out with the amount of players that was on it. And the player population was actually pretty good. When I was playing, there was always people in the chat. There was help, so you can ask questions in the chat, and you can actually change the color of what message it is depending on what your particular message is about, whether that be help or anything like that. So there's obviously something good there, because if you got a newer player, it's not going to be too overwhelming because you'll have that ability to ask for help in there. Another thing that I wanted to touch on is the survival mechanics. There is survival mechanics in the game. You can kill and cook animals. So if you eat the food that you get from the animals, it does bring back a little bit of your health. I haven't seen any type of water or eating mechanics in the game, but you can make camps out in the wild and rest there to regain health, and you can also make them them as your spawn points. The last thing I want to touch on before I get into the wrap up is going to be the combat. So if I want to go a little bit more in depth on it, rather than just saying the meta is hatchets, there are different weapons in the game. You do have the hatchet, the longsword, the warhammer, the bow, and those staffs, and a musket. And apparently, like, it's super hard to get ammunition for the musket, but I mean, I didn't have any trouble just getting multiple supply chests and getting that ammo for it. But each of these do have a skill tree involved with them. While it's not very in-depth now, there also are abilities that go with each weapon specialization. So there's no classes in the game. Basically, what weapon you use and what type of armor that you use is going to determine the way you play your class. So you'll have different progressions while you use the weapons. Say you use the hammer more than anything, you're going to be mostly skilled with the warhammer, and I'm not gonna lie, the warhammer's pretty fun. It's probably the best way that I've ever seen it. Combat in this MMO is not Souls-like, but it is much different, and it does scratch that itch for this style of combat that I've had in an MMO. To wrap all of this up, I think that the game is going in an okay direction. It's obviously not going to satiate everyone's MMO itch like it will some people. There's obviously going to be a tight player base around this one, and people do have their criticisms on this game when it comes to Reddit or wherever they want to post about the game. People definitely do have their criticisms on it. I personally don't think it's horrible, and it is in the preview stages, but like I said before in multiple videos, I've been burned in the past. So if you don't want to pre-order right now, then I would advise against it, because if you don't want to test it and get a taste of what it is in its early stage, then don't pre-order, because you could just ruin your hunger for the game. So I definitely don't recommend pre-ordering it if you're not ready to see a game in its early stages, and I would also recommend that with every game, including Star Citizen and just different games that I cover on my channel. With that being said, guys, if you did enjoy this video, I did not want to go too deep into it. I just wanted to let everyone know how to get the game if they wanted to. I wanted to kind of go over a quick overview, kind of a before you buy type thing, to see if you wanted to get into at least the preview. Like I said, by the time this video is posted, which I might post it a bit early, this is the Monday video, but I might post it a bit early just because the game is only out until September 4th, so give people ample time to actually play it. There's a lot of things in this game, like MMO aspects, like where you're going to be grinding, you're going to be farming, and you're going to be doing stuff to level up your character. But I think the most unique part of the game is probably the way that the classes are built, where there's no specific class that you pick in the very beginning, but it's based off of your weapons that you choose to use throughout the game. With that being said, that's unique. I don't necessarily like it as a player. I would rather have my class and have specialized armor like other traditional MMOs, but who knows, maybe if they take it into a nice direction, it will turn out well for them in the end. With that being said, guys, I hope you did enjoy, and I hope you leave a like, and I hope you watch to the end of this video. I will see you guys in the next one.